man through it. They're going to plow through it. I'm going to go ahead and with this last about minute and a half here, we're going to go ahead and play some ads, and then we should be into the loading screen and shortly actually starting the game. Oh my goodness gracious. So for all you that are in Secret Club and still watching the stream, you're very sneaky. You were very
sneaky. That ad block.
Or regional. They might just be in a region.
Oh, that's true. We do. Yes, that's true. There's sometimes we do not have ads in certain countries, so we do apologize if you were not using ad block. But we do appreciate it if you do not use ad block. It does help us provide this tournament. I know it's fairly easy to do, and I know a lot of you are technically capable of knowing how to use it and modify the stream. But we do appreciate when you do not use ad block.
You know what I do? I use ad block, and then I whitelist the stuff that I like.
If we like you, we will whitelist you.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like the streamer, you're just like, screw it, not happening.
Yeah, well, like if I if I'm watching a stream on Twitch and I like it, I whitelist it. If I'm, at a website, I'm like, I really support this blog, whitelisted. Reddit, whitelisted, because I like seeing the adorable pictures they give you for not using ad block.
The adorable pictures.
They'll be like, thanks for not using ad block. Here's a kitten, and I'm like, oh, that's cute.
That's true. Reddit's always good with giving you good pictures for doing that.
Yeah.
I was one of those people, but and then very early on where I hated those ads, and I understand some people just can't stand it, but you got to support your streams, and this is how they provide their time and money into it. So do appreciate those who have not done it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make sure that the Scumbag game doesn't load on the corner for me, which it tends to like to do in spectator mode for whatever reason. No, we're good.
Alright, let's make sure that is not lined up. Let's line that up real quick. I love playing in a window because I'm a rebel,
You rebel.
That's how I roll. That's how I live my life every day.
Nice.
So we do see their new mid
Lovely.
Rocking that very nice 47 ping. We do see, not completely uniform ping over here on Curse. Elements and Jackie are quite laggy compared to the rest of their team. So that's going to be a little bit of a handicap for them. That extra ping might come into effect.
I hope not. I hope this all ends up being okay. All right, so we are back on stream, I do assume. We were talking about the Darius versus Udyr matchup up top. I really believe this is one of those things where Udyr, Darius might be visited pretty often. Westrice might get a couple visits from Shen early, considering that I don't expect Saint Vicious on Shyvana to be doing much ganking. I expect to be counter jungling, if anything, which is very possible against Shen early on. But we were also saying that the combination of global alts for CLG Black is really going to make a difference in this game, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that.
Yeah, it does look like CLG Black in a little bit of a dangerous position here. They are quite outnumbered, but there's no way for Curse to know that, to know if they would get there in time or not to secure a kill. But if Curse had played really aggressive there, it was probably a possibility of a kill. Of course, we do have that beautiful advantage of perfect vision of the entire map, which is just so overpowered.
We know how it works. It's always more vision than anybody else has, so you always get the advantage. Now, taking a look, we always have the typical ward from the opposing team into that little brush that Curse is sitting in right now. They're almost anticipating that ward to come down, so this could be really interesting if this goes down.
Yeah, there is a lot of tension here. Either team could choose to make a move, but it looks like CLG Black going to go ahead and just say forget it and move on with their lives. Maybe not.
Oh, here comes. Bloodwater's going to put the... Ooh. They killed the ward in time, so the ward is not going to be effective, but he got out really quick. That was... If there was a first pick of ability to slow him down, maybe Night Jackie could have been a little quicker. That would have been a difference, but as it is, he got away pretty easily.
Yeah, so it looks like we are going to go ahead and dissolve into a very standard transition. It's very important that Shen gets that nice, strong leash and pull from his team so he doesn't get behind. So they probably didn't want to do too many shenanigans up there as far as blocking and, just kind of messing with their jungler. Shyvana going to go ahead and start blue as well.
I'm very interesting that Shyvana actually went and started at race and then came all the way back for blue. You usually don't see that very often. Usually she'll go for red, as red is a slowdown and actually good for a level 2 gank when everybody is still level 1, especially top lane. So I find that interesting. Maybe he's just looking for the extra farm, because you see that on like a Maokai where starting race will get the extra farm, and by the time you come back up, race will be back up again.
Yeah, probably just deciding that he wants the extra farm. Probably not going to be able to get a super early gank here on Udyr. You know, he had that stance, kind of just run away from Shyvana. A little bit awkward.
Yeah, meanwhile, top lane, looks like Westrice is actually getting the early advantage, where Psycho Sid's actually going to wait on that lane to get pushed. So, I guess I'm not too surprised. Took Tiger stance early, would like to get Turtle, but needs level 2 in order to pull off. And actually, Westrice now blaster. Oh, bot lane.
Yeah, we did see the Ezreal going down. That early pressure from that Tara Graves lane, something that we're going to see over and over again, especially while Soraka is low. You know, when she's that first couple of levels, she's pretty vulnerable. Her heal isn't healing very much. Obviously, doesn't have the ultimate yet for that second heal. It's a very, very good timing for something like a Graves Tara lane.
And we wondered, you know, we were talking about this before the game actually started, of when the draft was coming down, how Graves Taric is a really, really aggressive lane, and that paid off real quick, real early. Burst potential from Hood Stomp, and the stun from Taric, and next thing you know, downed for the count. It's not a good start, and this bot lane has been having issues for Curse, and they continue that trend.
Yeah, so we're going to have to see if they can come back from that. We do see Shyvana camping here in this top lane, really looking to set something up, being very, very patient. Wants to find the opportunity, doesn't want to rush it and waste the entire time they spent there. Going to try to go in, not going to see the opportunity, and just going to burn out of there.
Yeah, it's a tough get. I know Shyvana Shyvana took exhaust, so it's not like they couldn't slow him down. But once Udyr has turtle stance, and usually in a lane level turtle stance to have more sustain, it's really tough to actually find the burst damage early to knock out Udyr with even with 2 people on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Tiger stance so good at running away, and you know, as you said, turtle stance, very nice little survivability boost for him as well. It does look like he has put 1 point into all 3 of his stances. Sans Phoenix, going to go for that early utility of having his options to explore.
In case he actually does need to push the lane fast for any given reason, now Darius goes back in that lane. Meanwhile, we are having just a farm fest so far. Nightjacky is trying to push the lane a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. It looks like the farming is about the same on both sides, so we have Orianna at 32, Karthus at 31. They're about dead even.
Mm-hmm. We do see that Graves is coming back to the lane with significant advantage. He has the Berserker's Greaves as well as the Doran's Blade up here on this Ezreal. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to actually get his farm. And so the question is now, do they even want to push it into the tower, or do they really want to force him to try to last hit and trade with Graves as much as possible?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, there it is. They got to watch for that stun and make sure Ezreal Cop is watching out for it in the meantime. And here they go. They're going to have the farm under lane. And I think, given that first kill early to Graves, that was going to be a given. That was just going to have to happen.
Yeah, we do see very nice warding here of the lane, at least by Kurz. You know, they're going to have the vision of any kind of angle that they want to go with and try to camp and try to come onto this Ezreal, because, you know, the lane's going to be pretty consistently pushed, just kind of naturally, as well as from that Graves Q, and so they want to be able to have the vision of this brush at least.
And Psycho Sid actually now with the turtle stance, predicting every time Westrice wants to actually do the wild swing and not have to take that damage, and the shield is definitely holding up well. So every trade, I think Psycho Sid is actually coming out ahead more or less. We'll see how that pans out later on, but for right now, it looks like the lane's just going to be sat right there. I'm actually waiting for Shen to come up, and as I say that, Gosuzuna is actually going to make that play and come up top and run maybe into that ward. Nope, it's going to come under the lane, maybe dive in to look for, and Westrice actually feels something coming, so Westrice coming back.
Feels it coming, as in seeing it with the giant ward that he has right there. Gonna be able to see that Shen walking right up.
Well, it was almost like a feeling, though, because I give Westrice credit, because he was already backing off before the Shen even got to that ward, so good for him to actually see it. And they're actually going to look at this ping coming down on mid lane for the Karthus. Karthus is actually moving out of lane, so he's not going to have a chance, and seen by the ward. Westrice is in the middle, so it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, trying to get some kind of movement happening here. They really want to be able to make something happen as soon as possible. They want to have that movement. They want to have the aggression. It's just a very aggressive kind of lineup that they have here for their top mid jungle combination. Shyvana really looking to do some aggressive invades. Like right here, you see that they're setting up to actually do their blue.
They want to keep blue from Karthus, which is a great decision in my opinion. If you're able to keep blue off of Karthus, that is definitely a lane deterrent. You are not able to push lane. You're not able to use your E ability to really just finish out, farming as well. You can fire Qs all day, but that will definitely be an issue. And actually, it looks like they're going to counter each other, which might end up being a detriment unless now they got 4 members now going for this blue, so they might actually be able to. Nope, Shen's actually taking the blue, which is a real detriment to Kenneth. He's not going to be able to have blue at all in lane.
Yeah, so both junglers kind of taking the blues. Really aggressive kind of invadey plays. I'm surprised though that Curse wasn't able to organize a little bit quicker around their blue. But if they had to, they would have had a really good position there. But unfortunately, just not enough, and they weren't able to get that smite off on that blue and take it onto the Shen. What?
Sorry, I was speaking to my wife on the side here. No, I was... Excuse me for a second. I was actually looking to see, St. Vicious is going to do what he normally does with Shyvana. That is farm up as quickly as possible, hopefully staying up with the carry so that he is a presence later in the game. Watching, and Gosuzuna is 2 levels behind already, so it's definitely making a difference. He's been trying to counter jungle a little bit, but it's more or less he is just trying to be a farm machine.
Yeah, that does sound about right. We do still have Cop with a little bit of a struggle here at bottom. Doesn't have any extra items picked up quite yet, but is catching up fairly nicely in CS. He's not too far behind, about 59 to that 64. Not too bad at all. But now we do see the Graves coming back with the pickaxe as well. Going to have a lot of AD here. Going to really be able to harass quite well. But they've been doing a good job of staying far back, not getting hit by those buckshots at all, and playing pretty confidently and getting that farm on.
And because neither mid lane, neither AP carry got their blue buff, they'll poke a little bit, but again, I guess it's going to be a little bit more passive. Night Jackie actually warding down there as they're setting up for Dragon a little early, and given that St. Vicious is level 7 and everybody is already here for Curse, they've set this up really well. They got a ward in from Shen. He might try to come in and smite, and he does actually fail with the smite. And wow, the Darius ultimate catches as he tried to jump out of the Baron pit. That was an excellent play. Nice finish from Darius. Nice kill. That's going to help him when he gets back to lane.
Yeah, that turns a small little nice advantage of the Dragon into a fairly big advantage here. Gonna slow down that Shen. He's not going to be up. He's a little bit out of position. He's already quite a bit of a slow jungler. And so now he's going to... Oh, Shen didn't have smite up. Which is ideal when you're going for a smite steal. The first 2 things you should check are, 1, can I get in there? And then 2, the second one, do I have smite up? And if the answer is no.
Smite up? You definitely want to do that if you're going to dive into the tower to try and steal it. And it is worth your life if you're able to dive in and get the dragon for your life, as it's usually worth 2 kills in that case. But that is a definite unfortunate circumstance for Gosuzuna to go in there and die and give up a kill to Westrice, and that's going to leave Psycho Sid a little bit behind, although his farming while Westrice was down getting Dragon definitely stretched out to about a 23 CS lead, so good for him. He's actually going to try and lay some damage down on Psycho Sid now that Psycho Sid is low on mana and go back to farming, so Psycho Sid is going to have to go back.
Yeah, you see that you're just kind of walking away from the harassment there. Very powerful, kind of sustainy, very difficult to kill top laner, which is a good pick against somebody like that Darius. Really wants to look for those early kills, really wants to get that momentum going so that he can start ulting their entire team. And that's just not going to happen. You see how far back this Curse lineup is playing between comp and elements. They're really just kind of staying back and trying to get as much farm as possible.
Yeah, and from a huge range too, and that they needed that dragon just so Cop can stay somewhat in the game, but it's just going to be a humongous issue. It's warded very well, and I don't even think that CLG Black is worried about a gank from St. Vicious on Shyvana, because looking at it at this point, they know that they can get away and then feel like it. Elements is not going to add any sort of sustained damage. Might be able to silence somebody, but that's going to be about it. They're getting really tanky and really up in levels. Now it's 8-7 to 7-6 in levels. I'm not sure that this bot lane is going to really do anything until a tower is taken or somebody, one of the junglers, actually pays attention on a gank.
Yeah, so Hoodstomp is getting a fairly significant CS advantage going here now, sitting about a little bit over 20 up, about 25 up at the moment, and that's going to be really great for him, but I just hate this really passive.
Look at the setup on Shen in the middle. Oh, this is going to be great as they're looking. St. Vicious and Westrice both converging on Shen. Shen is trying to go out and does get a dive out just before Westrice could maybe pop that ultimate to finish him off. That was tricky. That sets up them taking blue yet again, and I'm wondering now, it doesn't even look like CLG Black is going to have any chance of countering that by taking their blue at this point, and Nijaki is actually going to have a blue in lane and have the advantage.
Yeah, very good timing. That's really, we're starting to see the advantage of something like St. Vicious on that Shyvana. He's able to get there, he's able to clear it very, very quickly, put out a lot of damage onto that blue buff, and it just absolutely dissolves, and they're in and out as quickly as possible. And of course, that very, very nice harassment on the Shen to push him out of the area.
Absolutely, and now that St. Vicious has a full Wriggles Lantern and boots, he is actually being able to sustain and kill just about everything. And as I say that, here comes Nijaki coming to get his blue. That is going to be a really nice setup for Curse, really give them advantage. Nijaki should be able to push lanes, and they will have pretty good control in the mid lane that may be able to counter the fact that they have such a passive bot lane at this point.
Yeah, always going to be looking to press that advantage, always going to be looking to set up those very nice Orianna ults, because they're absolutely team fight changing, they really, really are, which can be game changing, if you land one really nice ultimate.
Absolutely, and given the fact that right now Orianna and Karthus are even in farm, so the only difference being that Orianna does have one assist, but St. Vicious has had really good control of his own jungle and really good timers on CLG Black's jungle, so credit to him. He is making a difference in this game and making a difference for all of his teammates.
Yeah, really trying to take control of the game as much as possible. If you can't do it directly with ganks on somebody like Shyvana, you always want to be taking advantage of just controlling both jungles as much as humanly possible. Especially with somebody like a slow jungler such as Shen. You see right now Shen is level 7 compared to the level 9 of Shyvana. We do have a 91 CS compared to a 60.
And not only that, but that has definitely led to an early oracles and an early ward control, which could make a real difference. I think it's making a difference in all these lanes at this point. But Psycho Sid is being allowed to farm. Hoodstomp is being allowed to farm in bot lane. It's going to be time soon when the entire team of Curse is going to have to roam and take it, start taking real advantage, making the differences between top and bot lane as they're coming, getting down in farm. Top lane at least has a kill to counteract it, but it's going to be an issue. And this top tower might go down. It does. Psycho Sid does finish it off. Westrice is going to try and make him pay.
Yeah, but Westrice, actually blowing the ghost, going to try to secure a kill here, uses the flash on that Udyr to try to get away. Really nice job there by Psycho Sid. Just so difficult for Darius to actually lock down a target like that. You saw even with Ghost, the flash is just enough to straight up flash entire stance away. Very difficult for him to deal with. We have seen St. Vicious roaming around here with his Oracles, doing a very, very nice job of clearing the map as well. Again, something that's very characteristic of him is controlling the map, not only through farm, but also that really nice, and as early as possible, Oracles. Really lets him control the map vision. And you see right now, there's really no vision at all here for CLG Black.
Absolutely not, although I think they have a feeling, because Karth is coming down, Shen and Taric and the bot lane coming up, this is going to be a battle for this second dragon. They had a feeling they were coming. Oh, what a great ultimate from Nijaki, and they absolutely bust down. They bust down the Taric, they bust down the Shen. Hoodstomp was getting the Shen ultimate, but is able to back off. He might actually get a kill here. The Karthus ultimate coming out is going to finish off 2 more players, 3 more players for a triple kill. That is humongous. Psycho Sid is now chasing down Nijaki, so a great turnaround. Karthus ultimate making the difference. It is absolutely finished this game back to where they needed to. Nijaki's trying to turn this around on Psycho Sid, maybe trying to finish him off, but that was humongous. Hoodstomp is actually going to get another turret out of this for CLG Black. So Karthus making the difference. That was huge. I thought the Curse had the huge advantage at first, and then they just whipped it. It got turned right back around by CLG Black.
Yeah, Karthus' ultimate is pretty good. I don't know if you knew that or not. Cooldown actually doesn't matter if it only takes 1. Oh my goodness, it's so good. We do see that Israel is building towards that Triforce. He does have all three pieces, just waiting to go ahead and get that little extra gold boost and combine them. So very nice by him. He's going to have that little bit of burst damage. He's going to have that nice kind of all-around stats build compared to this Graves, who I'm almost certain is going to be able to finish this, at least Zeal once he goes back. Yeah, he actually just went back and picked up the Infinity Edge and those pieces, so next time he goes back, going to be able to finish out that Zeal. So they're both taking very different approaches, but very appropriate to their champions, of course. And we're going to see who pays off here in the mid-game.
And now I think we're going to start to see more of the focus on team fights, as looks like CLG Black is trying to push his mid lane a little bit with 4 people mid, now that both top tower and bottom tower are gone, but they're not going to have too much success. Shyvana and Nijaki can clear those waves really quickly between the 2 players. Looks like top lane, though, Psycho Sid says, alright, I'm going to be able to chase you down, Westrice, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it because I am pretty far ahead in actual farm. No, not that much. Actually, more of a 17, and they're about even top lane, but Udyr's sustain is so much nastier overall. Now he has a phage to slow anybody down he gets at top of. I was trying to look at some of the builds now, and let me tell you that the 2 kills that Cop got out of that last team fight were very, very big. He already built into a Trinity Force. Very big item for him to pick up. I'm actually surprised. I guess I'm not too surprised he picked up a Trinity Force, but I would have liked to see, I think, an Infinity Edge, maybe just to even out it a little better, but we'll see how this plans out. Wow, Nijaki's able to do some damage to Kenneth mid.
I actually didn't check it, but yeah, of course, you know that Orianna does a surprising amount of damage. A lot of people underestimating her damage, especially lately. She's really able to put out some very, very high damage. You saw in that last team fight how important her ultimate was. It really kind of set up for the Shyvana as well to engage on a lot of targets at once, spreading a lot of AoE damage, getting all those targets low enough for Karthus to actually finish off.
And look at this top lane, as Psycho Sid is just doing whatever he wants to Westrice at this point. The constant hits, auto attacks from Tiger Stance are just beating down on Westrice. Westrice is not really able to stay in lane or do anything about it. So top lane is going to be an issue. Udyr is going to really beat out Darius. Darius is going to have to be a factor in team fights by being able to finish somebody off with his ultimate and really going from there. So meanwhile, they have a little chase here. Looks like Karthus' ultimate might finish off Nijaki. No! Nijaki gets away. Only with about, I believe it was 50 health at that point. That was humongous for Nijaki to get away on that.
Yeah, we saw CLG Black use a lot of cooldowns there, a lot of flashes, things like that, but they do at least capitalize by getting that tower kill. They want to keep the lanes pushed as much as possible. They want to have a lot of map control here. You see how their wards are set up. They've really kind of set up this perimeter of map vision and control that they're looking for, and they're going to go right to Baron.
You know, and Curse feels it, even though they have no ward coverage to see it. They really feel it might be coming, and they're going to try and take advantage of this. But this is where, you know, you do not want to fight Karthus in the middle of a Baron pit. It is really a big problem for you to try and get in there, especially with Saint Vicious being on a melee champion, Westrice being on a melee champion. That is a big issue to try and get there. Now they're going to try and counter this, them going after it by taking the mid tower, which will be their first tower of the game, and they do need it. They need that gold. Puts them back in the lead again, because to counter all the dragons that they had picked up, it was CLG Black who was able to take 3 towers, 1 on each lane, to really take map awareness and map control away from from Curse.
Yeah, so the Curse does want to continue to put pressure on this tower. They know that they don't have a Karthus ultimate quite yet, so going to play as aggressively as possible. If CLG Black wanted to have a team fight here, they would be at a nice big disadvantage because of that, and so they're just going to go ahead and continue to put the pressure. You do see little touches here when you see things like Saint Vicious clearing these wolves because he knows he has the time, goes around, clears the rest of their jungle. Those are really subtle touches that are very, very important. Keeping his farm up, keeping his team in the lead, getting those little small advantages, very, very important.
Absolutely, especially because I feel like he is going to need to be the tank with Westrice being shut down top lane from farming so much. But they feel like without the Karthus ultimate right now that they can take advantage of, poking down. They have a good amount of poke between Ezreal and Orianna that they have the range, I believe, range advantage, especially over Graves and nobody else, maybe a Karthus Q, but Karthus is not going to want to try and play that kind of game, trying to Q while Ezreal's sitting there poking him away.
Yeah, we did see the Orient ultimate was used mid to try to get a little bit of harassment, but it is almost about half up. 100-second cooldown on that. Not too bad at this point in the game. They can use it for kind of that really strong poke if they need to. Always wants to try to set up for the team fight. That knows the team fight now's coming for a little bit. Use it for the poke. And it looks like St. Vicious is going to continue to run around and farm all the things.
And this is always a good advantage for Oriana, is the fact that that ball does grant vision wherever put, so it's really big. It's been a really good job by CLG Black on ward coverage so far, especially after losing it early with St. Vicious having that early oracles, which now he does not have after losing in that dragon fight. So now we're looking at a bigger issue of what can Curse do to change this ward coverage down, other than getting the much needed oracles on a character, probably a St. Vicious, although St. Vicious is trying to go fight the other jungler here. And blue team, yes, CLG Black is going to take a dragon, which is really big for them. Westrice wants to try and do some damage, but that's not going to do much to Psycho Sid at this point. He is really beefy.
Yeah, we see Ezreal using his ultimate, get that nice clear on the bottom wave. Really got quite a bit of farm off of that. And they're just kind of repositioning here. They're taking, both teams kind of taking a very passive defensive stance here in the lane. Neither of them really wants to be pushed. We see Tarek picking up that Oracles over here for CLG Black. And Nightjack is just going to continue to farm these waves as much as possible.
Yeah, what's really going to stink here is, as we get further into the game, Nightjacky is going to be the key player for Curse as to whether they're going to win team fights or not. Now, he had a great ultimate down at the dragon fight, but we saw that Karthus ultimate really ended up trumping it, as a couple of people did die, but then Karthus got the triple kill from everybody else being low. So now we're going to have issues, and Tarek has now picked up the oracles and taken the initiative to clear out all of what Curses offer as far as vision goes. But it's going to be a true issue where you do not want to get in and have to fight Udyr and Karthus up close, which takes away any advantage that Shyvana or Darius might have in the middle of the game. So Nightjacky's going to be the key player. I'm not sure how that's going to pan out for them. Nightjacky can continue to get farm, but it's going to be a real issue for them.
Yeah, we do see that she did go that triple GP10 as well. Really, really looking for that very strong late game on her. Wants to put up as much damage as possible and really have the income to do it. Knows that this game is going to kind of go for the long run, I should say. You see just like how passively both teams are kind of forced to play because of the lineups. Neither team really wanting the disadvantage of being the one that initiates. They both kind of want to be the one that's counter-initiating very, very strongly. A lot of CC coming out that can really punish people for poor initiation.
Okay, and now as I say that, Elements did pick up the oracles. Soraka, unfortunately, a real squishy target, but this is going to be clear, really key for them to be able to clear out these wards. Let's see if they check this small brush, make sure that that ward, even though it's going to time out really soon and see the entire team at this point, they do see it, but it does expire. So, and they really do have an advantage here where everybody is here. They're waiting to see if they can drag out. I'm not sure they're going to be able to trick CLG Black into coming into the area. Zuno's actually going to check and then decide, no, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, I believe they actually had just a little bit of vision here from this ward that was in the brush. They were able to see it. Looks like they are going to counter this.
I was going to say, and to counter this, they're really going to take this middle tower really quickly. Curse wants to fight this. They want to come in from the back. I'm not sure if they're going to catch anybody out. They'd like to catch Psycho Sid. That's not going to happen. So the positioning really ended up hurting Curse. They end up losing a tower for thinking they can be tricky and catch somebody not going in the right spot, and they might end up losing 2 towers for this.
Yeah, you see CLG Black not afraid to push very, very aggressively. They have a really nice team forward. You see Karthus has Azonia's Hourglass as well. It's going to be a very powerful team fight for them. Shen managing to dash out of range of that pull.
Absolutely, and Karthus having the Hourglass, which means he's not going to go down very quickly, and also having 3 kills with Oriana only having 4 assists. That's a pretty decent gold advantage. Gold as a team, as for teams go, is only 500 difference, 600 difference in gold, so there's really nothing there. But Curse is really debating about whether they want to fight this or not. And Westrice might get caught out. Oh, Westrice is blown up so quickly. Meanwhile, St. Vicious wants to go fight, but he's getting just trampled on. As we said, the close fight matchup isn't going to work out for them, and now Curse is really on the defensive.
Yeah, we just see the Karthus still coming out. It's not really going to capitalize anything, but now CLG Black, it looks like they're probably going to go ahead and run right to Baron. They have about 30 seconds before anybody's even going to be up, let alone able to run to that Baron in time. So you can see that they're kind of sprinting their way over there as quickly as they can.
It's really a problem. Darius and Shyvana cannot get in close without having to take a ton of damage. Hood Stomp there just focused them both down really quickly. That was huge. I mean, there's no more that they can do. Karthus getting another. Goes
for the goal.
Wow! I thought Night Jackie actually might have had a chance to steal that, but it was really close.
Yeah, of course, those steals can be absolutely game-changing. You always want to go for it if you can. It's so rewarding when you get it. Oh, my God, it makes me smile.
It's probably the best feeling in the world when you can actually steal a Baron and still stay alive, and Orianna's one of the few champions that can really provide that. Ezreal almost stole it as well. That was almost great timing, but in the end, that's a huge advantage now, and with 4 towers gone already on Curse's side of the map, I expect that mid lane may get pushed here and may get pushed really quickly. I think Curse is trying to set it up where they get all the lanes pushing so that they can go back and defend and not have to worry about a quick push, really dragging this Baron timer out as they defend.
Yeah, you see, even when that Baron kill, the game's still very, very close. About 40.5k to 39.1. Not too big of an advantage in the favor of CLG Black, but certainly enough. And now they kind of have to feel like they have the momentum advantage. They won a team fight that got them a Baron kill. They have a lot that they can capitalize off at this point.
Absolutely, and it's just going to be a matter of, they get to pick and choose where they actually want to push, but Curse is really going to be restricted here. They're not going to be able to move out. They're not going to be able to farm very much. That's why they try to push out as much as possible. Let's see what lane they decide to pick. Looks like it might be bottom. I'm not sure how well that's going to go, but as Curse is going to move over and try and defend as best they can, but not everybody is here, including Hoodstomp, who went back and bought, and I believe he just bought his last Whisper, which is going to be huge. That's going to really melt down the two, supposedly beefy tanks. But now we have a problem again in that they don't see anybody. Oh, Bloodwater might get taken down quickly. No, he does not. Actually, the Zhonya's getting Karthus to stay alive a little bit. They trade kills. Now St. Vicious is trying to go in and take out Hoodstomp. Actually gets destroyed for it. Looks like Udyr is actually going to try and clean this up, but can Cop clean this up instead? Shen ultimately